This is the Mercedes SLC, and it's the perfect car for British summers because you can enjoy it with the roof down on the rare occasions that it is sunny like today. But when it's raining, you can put the roof up and you effectively turn the car into a coupe rather than a normal rag top convertible. There you go, look, clever folding metal roof, all very nice. Now this car starts from £32,000, which seems like quite a lot of money considering it's quite old now. But if you click up there, you can go to carwow.co.uk and you can see some incredible deals on this car. Let's check out the inside. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to put the roof up was to show you how much space there is in here when you're going about in coupe style. So look at this. The seat does go back quite a long way, so even if you're very tall, you should be fine. And there is lots of adjustment in the steering wheel as well. You've got decent headroom. If you're large, you're still going to be fine in this car, whereas you'll probably find it a bit of a squeeze in something such as the cheaper Mazda MX-5. In terms of the quality, well, it's not too bad. This is one of Mercedes' older cars, like I said, but the materials are still pretty nice and it all feels solid. There are a few things which aren't so nice though, and that's like the dials here. These just feel cheap and nasty. Also, the layout of this console here with all the buttons and stuff, it's just looking a little bit old-fashioned now. Now this brings us on to the trim levels. So there's only one AMG line, and in some ways it's well equipped, and in other ways it's not so well equipped. For instance, you don't get satellite navigation as standard on any car. It's an option on this particular model, so if you want the command, the top of the range system, it's £2,000. You can get a cheaper Becker version, but that's not particularly nice to use. Actually, this command online system isn't all that great to use either. It can get a little bit confusing. Now, click it there, see for yourself, watch my in-depth video review of the infotainment system of this car. Talking of options, this particular car I'm sat in now has £16,000 worth of options on it, such as these lovely Napa leather seats. As standard, you get fake leather, you get Mercedes Artico leather, and it's actually all right. In terms of cubby spaces, well, you don't expect much in a car of this size, do you? And there isn't much. We've got some cup holders here, got some storage under there, which are actually all right. The glove box is a decent size, and there are some extendable door pockets there, which will take a bottle, just don't leave it open, otherwise it's going to dribble on the floor. And there's some more storage there as well. Speaking of storage, let's move on to the boot and see what that's like. So, the capacity is actually pretty good for a sporty car such as this. If you have a look inside, you'll see there's plenty of space there, and because this one hasn't got a spare wheel, there is some more storage under there if you need it. Now I've got to fit this back. It's probably not. Oh, I'm regretting doing that now. Oh, that's in, it's all right. So yeah, the boot is pretty large. However, you have to be careful what you take if you want to put the roof down at any point, because when you put the roof down, you have to make sure that everything fits under this cover, because the roof mechanism goes on top of that there. Now, I'm going to show you that by lowering the roof. It's all quite elegant really, isn't it? Just hope that nothing goes wrong with it, because that could be expensive to fix. Right, there we go. So now I'm going to show you. You see the roof's on top of it there, and you're probably wondering, how the heck do I get this out of there? I'm not going to go through the procedure of putting the roof back up, but that's kind of what I need to do. So anyway, if you want more detail about this car's practicality, click up there to watch my detailed practicality video. You'll see how much stuff you can fit into this car's boot, and that's pretty much it, because there's not much else to show. Right then, that's the practical stuff dealt with. Now it's time to hit the road. The SLC is quite an easy car to drive in town. So while you may sit alone, you've got that big long bonnet, it's quite easy to tell where the corners of the car are, so that makes it easy to manoeuvre in traffic. So if you click up there, you can actually see for yourself by joining me for a point of view test drive video. What's not so good about it is that the suspension can feel a little bit crashy over bumps. You really do feel them sending jolts through the cabin, and it fidgets around over rough surfaces. Another thing to watch out for is that on the lower powered versions, you can get them with a manual gearbox. You want to avoid that. You want to pay extra for the automatic, because it just makes this car easier to drive, and the manual isn't actually all that nice. This SLC has a classic sports car setup. So you've got an engine up the front, and it sends power to the rear wheels. They just have to concentrate on driving, and the front wheels, they just have to concentrate on steering. Thing is though, it doesn't actually feel as much fun to drive as a front wheel drive Audi TT. It may be a sports car, but it's not the sportiest of sports cars. However, this particular car I'm driving here has the dynamic handling package, and that does improve things. So it gives you adjustable suspension. It also gives you sharper steering, and it does feel better to drive with that package fitted to it, so I suggest you pay the extra for it. It's £1,000. Now, all cars come with driving select, where you can move from comfort into sport. When you move up into Sports Plus, did you hear that? The exhaust note changes and it gets more raucous, and if you've got the dynamic handling package, it stiffens the suspension, so it makes the car just a bit flatter in the corners. Now, one thing that really annoys me about this car is that if you want to put the roof up or down, you actually have to come to a complete stop to initiate the roof mechanism, and then you can do it. Once you've started it going, you can then start moving a little bit, but not over 25 miles an hour, otherwise it'll freak out and stop. Yeah, Audi TT, you can drive along and initiate the roof. Whereas this you have to stop, which could be very annoying if you're on the motorway. Speaking of being on the motorway, when you've got the roof up, this is actually really quiet and relaxing. That's the benefit of having a metal roof rather than a fabric soft top, and it just feels like you're in a coupe. In terms of the engines, well, you can get 4 different petrol engines and 1 diesel. This particular car is the 300, so it's got a 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine with 245 horsepower, and it will go from 0 to 60 in just 5.6 seconds, and it feels really quick, and it works nicely with this paddle shift 9-speed automatic gearbox.
Actually, there's more annoying things about this car. Here's 5.
Whenever you put the roof up or down, the car will automatically put the windows back up if you want it to. The only thing is though, it forgets to put up the rearmost windows, so you have to then move to another button to do that yourself, and often you forget. I wonder what all that noise is. This carbon fibre trim looks a little bit tacky, which is even worse considering it's a £1,500 option. It really bothers me that the infotainment screen doesn't line up centrally with the centre console. Give me some really bad feng shui vibes. The sun visors are tiny, they don't really do a very good job, and the poor passenger gets to look at this warning sign here, so they're going to spend the whole journey slightly unnerved. You wouldn't have thought that on a car of this price you have to fit this piddly little wind deflector yourself. Is that it? Is that it? Come on, get in the hole. There we go.
Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5.
The optional Magic Sky roof essentially gives you a sunblind built in to the glass. Look at this. Let there be light. The car has electric operation for the steering column, a sure sign that you are in a premium branded product. Oh yeah, easy, very easy. All SLCs are available with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and you can get it with a 10-speaker upgraded stereo, and I'll show you all the speakers now. There's one here. There's one here, there's one here, and there's one down there, and there's the same over the other side. That's 8, then there's 9 here, and the 10th one's there. Banging tunes. There are some amazing discounts to be had on SLCs through CarWow. For instance, this car with options, the list price is £56,000, but a CarWow dealer offered me one with the exact same spec for £41,000, and while the car may start at £32,000, on average, it actually starts from about £23,000 when you buy it through CarWow. So that's Mazda MX-5 money. And what would you rather have? A Mazda badge or a Mercedes badge, which is rather large? You can enjoy this car all year round with the roof down if you go for the optional air scarf. Press the button on the dash and then it blows warm air through these vents in the headrest. I'll let you hear it now by moving my mic to it. If you click up there, you can go to carwow.co.uk for more information and to compare offers on the Mercedes SLC. So then what's my verdict on this car? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should consider the SLC because with the discounts you can get on it, it's actually not too bad a sports car. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it and click on our logo to subscribe to our channel. Also click on the video windows for more CarWow videos. Now, did you spot the Easter egg in this video? It was the Student Loans Company logo on the iPhone screen in the car's glove box. SLC, Student Loans Company.